Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 41 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. Now in the last episode, we built several more hotels and began construction of the Iron Tower. Today we're going to be continuing focus on the tourist season, building even more hotels, raising our population, and setting up more of the production chains that all go along with it. And before we jump into more tourist season gameplay, I've been extremely busy in between episodes behind the scenes. And essentially, what's gone on is I wanted to move all the oil fields that were out here. There used to be 5 and a clay deposit. Now to move each one of those, it takes 90 minutes in the Research Institute to do it. I think with our current amount of engineers, it actually takes about 50 minutes. But queuing up 5 of them and then a clay deposit, that was a lot of time. So during that time, I decided, hey, why not redo and reorganize and optimize every single trade route that I have in the game. So that's basically what I spent all my time doing while all of that was happening. And I was going to time-lapse it to try and make it a little bit more interesting. You know, I also laid out the zoo a little bit better and things like that. Not fully done yet, but nothing I did really felt time-lapse worthy. So there isn't going to be one this episode or just yet. What I'm eventually planning on doing is once we kind of build and satiate the demand of our 10 hotels and kind of finish with the amount of hotels that we need, then I'm going to design the final build almost of this entire cities. I guess we'll see what kind of happens when we get the High Life DLC. But the general plan is to kind of move a lot of the investors out here, have a dedicated area for hotels, and maybe have some hotels dotted around. I don't want them all in one location, but we need at least 10. 10 hotels is what we're going to have to end up with if we want to have 5,000 tourists by the end. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. The long and short of it was with the trade routes that I actually managed to save 16 cargo ships worth of influence, I guess you could say, right? 16 cargo ships is what I had left when I got done reorganizing all my routes, and I sent them all off to Archibald and sold them all. And with the extra influence I got back, I set up a new trade union here in Embesa in the island of Tabarim, and also secured the item that affects Watt kitchens. You may remember that seafood stew was a product that we were importing through Docklands and we weren't producing enough of for the scholars. Now I'm not actually importing almost anything in Docklands anymore, at least not on the main island of Swords. I'll show you that in a moment. And I decided to build, what is it, 8 Watt kitchens out here. There used to be just 4. Now there's 8. And with the item Aiden Isaac, the world famous Basin chef, the only item actually that affects just Watt kitchens, he replaces the input from being Lobster to being Sanga cow, because I noticed we had a huge abundance of Sanga cow, and obviously we've got all this space. I built a few more pastures for them, I guess you could say, and that also frees up all that extra lobster that we had previously as well to go just into our different recipes and things that we're going to be making for the tourists. So basically just like a big optimization. Now we're well producing enough seafood stew. It was a little tight on the workforce, so I also added in the 2 items that you can manufacture from Old Nate in the Cape Trelawney, which was the human incarnate, reducing the workforce for 50%, and productivity increased 35% for the fortunate, right? We've had that a few times in different places. So basically that's the main thing that's changed here. The Watt kitchens used to be here. As you can now see, it's a big blank space, and I actually just put down a police station because I just kept having riots. I don't know why. Everyone was happy. No one's been overworked. Wasn't too sure what was going on there. Maybe it might have been to do with the newspaper, actually, riot chants or something. So that might be temporary. We could put some extra things down there in future. But yeah, so that's like the big thing that's changed there, I guess. Now, this might not all be fine-tuned perfectly. Something may go wrong, but enough time has passed after my trade route change that I'm not too worried about. I think everything's going to be relatively stable. Nothing should be, you know, dramatically out of whack, and if it is, we've obviously got now the influence to just add some extra ships and figure it out. In that time, rather unfortunately and unbeknownst to me, Arthur Gasparov took out Benty's home island of Sweet Home. And obviously if I'd noticed it, I would have sent my pirate ships around and dealt with it. He then went for this island and took it out as well, and then he actually tried to take her final island here. Looks like he's actually just trying to attack it all the time. And I did defend it with my pirate ships then. So, I want Benty to be in the game, but I don't want to subject you guys to, you know, hours of war. It's really boring. You know, no offense to the Anno developers, but it's definitely just something that hasn't been fully designed, I feel like, right? It's really boring. You saw what we did with Margaret. All I have to do is make about 20 ships and just, you know, stack bomb different islands, and really nothing will go wrong, and they won't really attack me too much. The worst I'd have to do is build a couple of guns for defense. Ultimately, if we just rolled up on Arthur's home island here, made it collapse, he really wouldn't have anything left in this session that would really bother me that much. Now, I keep taking out his fleet, but obviously as hours pass, you know, Benty doesn't really put up any sort of defense, so she's down to her last island. She might have some islands, maybe in the Cape, some small ones. Yeah, she's got a small one out there. I mean, it's only a matter of time, though, you know? So she's not long for this world, unless I maybe do a secret war behind the scenes and take out some of Arthur's big islands and then just get peace with him or something. But I feel like, knowing the AI in this game, you gotta go the whole way and take every single island. And obviously I don't want to do that. That's just such a huge time commitment. So it might be the case that I let him do it, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. I think I know what you might say, though. Anyways, so yeah, if I have a quick look over what's happened with the trade routes, some people did say in the comments that they would like to see an overhaul of the trade routes. Trust me, you would not want to have seen it. It was boring. It took me a very long time. I had podcasts on in the background, and I was just checking on stats all the time and just making sure everything was good. But largely what I've done now, I actually completely deleted every route. That's what I ultimately did. And then I just started from scratch building out new trade routes. And I'm really happy with what it... I'm sure there's far more optimal ways to do it, but I'm really happy generally with what I've got going now. So essentially, category-wise, I've listed each different session into their own category, and then I've also added a separate category for if they are then coming back to the old world. So Arctic to the old world, Cape to the old world, Embessa to the old world, and New World to the old world. No region, or no session, region or trade route goes to anything but the old world unless they're hitting multiple. So the only ones that would be hitting multiple are the specialties for like rum, coal, coffee. These are hitting multiple islands. They have many ships on them, like oil obviously is going to many different places, construction is going to all these different things. But generally speaking, I decided instead of sending things directly to where they need to go, which is probably the best idea, I don't know, everything pretty much comes to this island and comes in from the New World here, or comes in from Cape Trelawney and just gets dumped into the island of Lusk, because we've got the big mega docklands here, super fast loading and unloading speed, so everything should be fine. I know that you might be looking at this and thinking, what the hell's going on there?
The formula is incomplete.
Coal has run out, but don't worry about that. It'll be fixed next docklands cycle, so that's normal, don't worry about it. And everything else should be fine anyway. As far as I know. So, yeah, so basically this is a big giant storage island and a kind of a processing hub then to send everything out. Ultimately, most things are going from this island up to Swords. That's most of what's going on. Previously I had things going up here, then things coming from here and leaving it and all that stuff. Now it's like every single production island largely just sends its things, if it's going off the map, it sends its things to Lusk, that production island, and then it goes out from there. You'd think that would have actually increased the amount of ships, right? Because it's not going directly to where it needs to go, it's going to this midpoint. But it actually cut down on 12 or 13 ships or something like that. So really happy with the result that we ended up getting out of it. But I just thought I'd quickly explain that's ultimately what's going on now. So it's also a lot easier to find things. If I wanted to, I don't know. Look, if I just wanted to see what's going from Embessa to the old world, I can then see the imports and the exports. You know, what if I want to see what's going New World to the old world, I just see exports, imports, and then I have a specialty route, which is exports for agricultural items, and then exports for agricultural too. So there's little bits of extra stuff coming, I guess. And they're all, as you can see, just getting dumped into Lusk. And the great thing about coming in from the New World as well is they hit straight into that docklands, which is awesome. So I won't dilly-dally any further, just know that for now it seems to be working. I've let, I think, a few hours play actually with the new routes in place, and things seem fine and pretty stable. It's not 100% stable though, but it's pretty stable. Alrighty, I might turn down that music. I feel like I'm screaming over it. I don't know if I've just messed up the sounds or something, but I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Alright, anyways, so back onto where we left off. So we had just left off with the... Oh, actually, yeah, so I would have mentioned, right, that I've moved all the deposits here. So essentially, I built out this little area now, which is like a sort of a worker docks. So specifically, it's made for just the oil, the railway to come in. It's got its own wall, kind of separating it out. There's this little, I guess, kind of like mini rock impassable area. So the wall just goes up to that. And then essentially, it doesn't look the best, I know, but there's really not much I can do. You know, like, if I can't put concrete on the bottom of a railway, it's always going to have grass, so I decided to leave a lot of it as grass. The same with the oil spills, or oil fields. Anyway, long story short, there's 5 oil fields all here now, and 3 clay pits there. And then I just tried to fill it with as much concrete as I could, just to make it as seamless as possible. Because if docks hits road, and it's not a key road, it leaves a patch of grass between it. It looks really weird, so I ultimately just put key roads in between everything, even though it also looks weird. But anyway, every tile is basically filled with something, and it's now just a sort of a worker dock area. I'm pretty happy with it, generally, just because it's like, yeah, it's all self-contained in as small an area, basically, as possible. It's got the commuter pier, where the workers are coming in, you know, oil storage, some ornaments, clay pits, oil fields. It's great. Happy with it now. And then the railway line is pretty tucked in as well, coming out to the fuel station, which, honestly, I think I'm probably going to get rid of. I don't know if we need it anymore. It just supplies the vineyards, and I think we make just about enough grapes to not really have to need that. And then the other thing is the one that goes into the center of the town. This town is going to move and be completely redesigned. I know we only just did it a few episodes ago, but now with the advent of tourists, we're definitely going to be changing around how that looks and deciding where restaurants are going to go and what places need power. Funnily enough, people also mention it's weird that the hotels don't need power, and it is weird. I decided to rotate this around just to break up the monotony of having them all face the same way, because some people did say it looks weird all facing the same way. So I think that kind of looks a little bit better, but also not entirely sold on it yet. It's probably going to change how it moves. I was thinking of pulling this one out further to something like that, and maybe having a plaza in front of itself, and then having an entranceway in, or something like that maybe. So I'm still happy with 3 at the front of the palace, or the back of the palace rather. You know, 3 or 4 around the investors, and then maybe 3 or 4 down this way, and that would give us our 10 or so. So that's enough talking. I think I've explained myself enough. Hopefully, I know there's a lot of stuff I did in between episodes, and I just thought I need to address it rather than just keep playing and not even mention what's going on there. Alright, so the Iron Tower. So the next thing we needed was timber and concrete. It's going to take 300 workers, 30 minutes. Let's go. Should be done relatively smoothly. I don't think we're going to run out of anything anytime soon. If you have a look at the docklands, we can see what the situation is now. I'm literally just bringing in fish, bread, and some timber because we don't have any. So that's it. So we're totally free up to get rid of some of our excess gramophones maybe, or our steam carriages or something. There's lots of excess stuff now that we have the potential to get rid of. And I did all that without really building any extra production chains. I think the only thing lusk-wise that I did different was I moved the light bulb factories. I moved them. They were previously over here, and I moved them over here because the guy in the trade union, Ram Devi, I didn't realize he actually affects light bulb factories as well as the gramophones. So now we're getting even more pocket watches, glasses, penny farthings, steam carriages, and sewing machines. So we're just absolutely out of our minds over there with all the extra stuff we're getting from all the different cycles and everything. So that's just generally helped with being able to cut out stuff. And yeah, like I said, the ones in Mbesa. Now I'm trying to think of then, last thing I think might be over here. Did I do anything here? I cleaned up the coffee area just in terms of how it looks because people asked me to. I think it was on my stream, someone asked if I could make this road look a bit nicer. So it's a bit nicer. It still has to curve around ultimately, but it is a little bit nicer. I'm trying to decide now out here how I'm gonna do even more orchards, because they do obviously take up quite a lot of space.
Withstood an attack.
It's good she's surviving out there. They take up. Oh, Benti actually has a nice big island out here. That's really good. You know, have to keep an eye on that and make sure she keeps it. People did mention with your pirate ships you can take out islands, and I've looked into it. Apparently you can. But doing that, even with the pirate flag raised, Arthur would be very, very unhappy with it. And you lose minus 50 for conquering someone's island, which is what I would have to do. So unless I'm missing something, let me know. But I would love to be able to take this back, give it to Benti, you know, like take it back and then just decolonize it, and she'll probably take it. That'd be nice. Anyway, I know I'm jumping around all over the place, but generally here on Marbella, this is going to be the island that's probably going to have a lot of the orchards because there's lots of space for it all the way out and around pretty much everywhere. So looking good over there for adding more, because we're going to need more chemical plants. That's something that's definitely going to have to come. I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, this island is getting really tight for space now. So I might end up setting up a route to deliver wood. And that way I can get rid of every single kind of wood area that we have. And I'm also just constantly researching clay pit, clay deposit move things. Now you can't get rid of them. You have to move them somewhere. I was thinking maybe I could tuck them in at the back here. There's actually quite a lot of space. If we just had a look. Generally quite a lot of space for a clay pit to... I think we could fit like 3 or 4 clay pits in there if we wanted to get rid of them. We have 5 on the island. So we'd save a lot of module space for farms if we could do that. So yeah, I really want to compress and get more out of this place if we can. I've also used the reforest tool to paint back in the forest. It looks awesome, I think. I'm really happy with it. So such a good addition. Really glad that that's there. Yeah, everything seems good, right? Everything seems good. Okay, so back to building, back to playing normally. And sorry that there's no time lapse, but as soon as I get everything set, then I know that I can do one. Because if I do one now, I'll probably just have to change things again. Unless I spent a really long time trying to forward plan all the consumption rates.
Truly a pacifist's paradise.
So, let's start. Over here is where we have our bar, restaurant, and cafe. And we have this little area here. Now, this one actually can't reach this warehouse, so I might just have to move it forward. Again, I feel like this is all just going to be so temporary. I know people don't like to hear that, but it kind of has to be until I can just figure some certain things out, get moving with the quests, and then we can decide to have a dedicated, nice big... I'm going to have more engineers. The idea is to have more engineers and a nice big open space for restaurants. And it's going to hopefully cover a lot of these things. So we'll also reduce consumption for certain things. So I'm really looking forward to having this dedicated plaza for it. I think it's going to look really good. Especially with all the new kind of seating arrangements and things that we have. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's just that I kind of need to gauge some things first. So, which I know is kind of frustrating. The other thing I could just do is put down a warehouse somewhere else closer by, maybe. So it just seemed weird having a big blank piece, a bit of space there, but whatever. Right, missing goods. So, Herman's the German. So these are basically blanked out. The only production chains I didn't fix or do up yet is these. But everything should be in place now to add them relatively easily. So 2 of these recipes actually require tallow. And I'm not sure if we're gaining flour or not. Doesn't seem like it. So, I know that citrus and sugar, I think sugar is actually being delivered, like I said, everything should be getting delivered to Lusk. Yeah, so it is. So sugar is going into Lusk, so that should be fine. Tallow. Tallow is an interesting one. I might actually set that up on a different island, like here, on Rush. Because I've got, well, let's see. On Lusk, we've huge amounts of pig farms, and we've obviously got loads of tallow buildings. But they're being evenly consumed to produce soap. So I could produce an excess. What about the pigs themselves? Pigs are slightly over, but not really. Actually, you know what? Something I never checked on was grain. That's probably going to run out eventually as well. So this has room to fit another one of these. Doesn't it? Oh man, just about. The only way you could fit it in is if you... Well, let's move these. They don't need to be there. They can go anywhere. That's the reach.
Nice day for it.
Alright, so an extra pig farm. Do that. Again, could probably just use docklands to bring in pigs with something far more valuable, really. But, you know, it kind of works. Trying to think where the actual... Oh yeah, where's the right harvesting gonna go? The silo. Don't know why you can't do that. Why not? Oh, it has to be adjacent. Yeah, yeah. Man, I am such a noob. Is that it? 5? Look at that. It's perfect. It looks great. Bosh. When in doubt, add some trees. Alright, so that's 2 extra pig farms. That's going to give us 36 per minute, which means we can have 2 extra tallow. And that brings it up to 34 tons consumption.
Look busy, people.
I actually feel like you could get even more. You could get much more tallow than if you wanted to, but that's probably enough. But let's just slam down 2 more. Whoops. Got the workforce for it, so I don't really see why not. 38 to 38. Might be a bit overkill, but yeah, let's do it. Anyways, so with that now, we know that we're making enough tallow down here, and we're making the sugar. And let's see what else. So tallow, oh, they need pigs actually themselves. All right. Okay, then yeah, that's perfect, because then that extra pig, those extra pigs rather, don't need the extra tallow buildings, yeah? Now we're overproducing both, so that's good. We'll set some minimum reserves and then set up this route. Now, of course, we may change this recipe later, but let's just set 1 in motion for now, at least. And I'll probably make 1 ship that's dedicated to just hoovering up all of these different things and bringing them here. Jam is already brought here automatically, it seems. What route is doing jam and why? Oh, because the tourists have it as a direct need. Yeah. So even things that I'm not even making yet are getting brought here, in theory. So that's how that works. So we're totally future-proofed, just not for the recipes themselves. So it looks like sugar and citrus won't be getting delivered, tallow and flour won't be getting delivered, and pigs. Okay, so that's it. So let's make a route. Oops, accidentally clicked on the ship there. So let's see if I can remember that off the top of my head. So there was tallow, sugar. No, I'm too stupid. Flour, citrus, and pigs. Flour, citrus, and pigs. Did I not save that route? Oh my god, this is... Now imagine this, but like 5 hours of this. That's what you wanted to see. So tallow, sugar. I'm doing it at the wrong place. Didn't even click the right island. Doing great, Darren. Alright. Tallow, sugar, actual pigs. So that's a agricultural product. And then... Come on, Darren, you can remember it. Citrus. There we go. So this is a nice quality of life. I said that I wouldn't really need this, but I actually did use it quite a lot when I was making all my old routes again. So shout out to the quality of life feature of hovering over and seeing what you've got in storage. I do actually quite like it now.
This is nothing short.
Jesus, calm down. All right, so this will be the beginning of a recipe route, really. So I'm just gonna call the route restaurants. I know they're not all restaurants, but just I don't know. I can't think of another word for it. Like fine dining, maybe? Fine dining? Fine dining. How about that? And it's just an old world route, so we'll just keep it that way and unload everything there. That's basically it, right? That should keep them all going, because other stuff is already automatically being arriving. This is like supplemental fine dining, essentially. And we need a name for the ship, maybe. Gorgon. I also noticed with the items that I've got in here now, I can make ships for free. I don't even need the, I didn't even mean to do that. I just had a bunch of Harbor Master items.
Heard the fire of any way the wind blows, eh?
Sorry, Isabel. I had a bunch of,
loosens that grip.
Is that it? I had a bunch of Harbor Master items, and I just threw them all in here. Just because I had them on a ship or something. Because I had to, when I stopped all my trade routes, I had to get rid of every item I had on those ships as well, and every good to blank them so I can reassign them. Anyway, then when I noticed I was building ships, I was like, oh my god, it's free. It only costs influence. It doesn't cost steam motors or anything anymore. They're all free. Which, I don't know how I pulled that off. But yeah, so now I don't have to do that thing I was doing where I paused this just to save up motors so I could do that. Anyway, I've lost my track of that route. So it's called the Gorgon. Emma's the name of the tourist. Emma's, I don't know. Emma's Fancy. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have a name for that. Some great names for the bus stops, by the way. King's Landing was a good one. I haven't actually used any of them yet, but keep them coming. Keep the ideas coming of bus routes, and then when I'm doing my kind of reorganization of the city, when I do the next time lapse, then I'll name the routes a bit better, just because then they won't be moving anymore. But at the moment, we've got one somewhere like here, is it? No, there. That's just called the Docks at the moment. Very inventive names. Oh, by the way, this is actually kind of a nice area, so I'll have a look at that as well. So just outside the zoo, it's like a combined sort of entrance for the zoo. So it's sort of an even thing. We have, might turn this sideways, actually. Oh, no, actually, I like where it is. Yeah, I can see why I aimed it there. So we've got some of the cherry blossom trees, some signs that tell you where the next hotels are, the street map, some souvenirs as you're coming out, a bus stop as you're waiting, and then just some little garden things just to make it look a bit nicer. Ultimately, I want to add some stuff into this place, and I might reorganize. I've just threw in a bunch of animals. I didn't really look at what's in there. But ultimately, this is probably going to be the amount you'll fit for this particular zoo. So it's pretty huge. And there's a lot of blank areas that I need to kind of touch up and redo as well. But we're getting very low on space now. There's really only this area to go, and then redesign this area, put some hotels out.
Now just smuggle it out.
People did ask, what about putting hotels out this way? The problem is, you can't really fit them until you get to about there. And then if you look at the building itself, it just doesn't really make sense to have that at the back of a fence, I feel like. It would need a road either side. So then you'd need to almost have it around here, somewhere there. You see, at that point, you're only really going to be able to fit one or two before it just starts to make more sense to put them like up here, I think. So I'll probably either have them in a line or I'll stagger them like I was talking about. And have them like, yeah, a staggered lane and then some restaurants and stuff in between. That could look quite nice.
Not so drab and dismal.
Are these guys happy? They're low on tapestries. So one of the issues, I guess you could say, with how my routes are laid out, the Embessa into Old World, we have all the tapestries coming here into Lusk and then getting brought up with other ships. So if we have a look at Embessa, are we making enough? Making 137. Let me just queue that up. Maybe we're just not producing enough. I never really checked the stat screen. I just kind of reorganized things. It's not a big deal. Maybe I don't need to fix this right away, but yeah, it looks like we're just a little bit underproducing. So maybe that'll be the next thing I look to fix. It actually isn't even fully under production either. It seems to be stopped for some reason. So why is that?
Only the Lord can create from nothing.
You're missing indigo, but there's 60 on the island. It's getting delivered now. I don't know why it wouldn't just come from here. It chose to get it from that one. That's weird. This one's way closer. Maybe it was too busy. Indigo. That's weird, because indigo should be coming in from this island, and there should be plenty. There's 9 here, and Tabarim's the place using it. Alright, it's not enough. 9 to 10. Maybe I could just add another one while we're here really quickly. We've got enough workforce for another one. Is this indigo?
There is tea by the door if you want it.
Oh, I bet there is. Yeah, let's just throw one down. Why not? If we added Bright Harvest to these guys, they'd be loving life out here. There you go, that should sort it, right? You've got enough workforce for that. You're making 10 now. Hopefully that fixes it over time. It's a quick and dirty fix. This place looks like a joke. Not a huge... The only thing graphically I'd say I'd be picky of in this game is I think the... when you zoom out, the farms look really weird. Don't think they look very good at all. Just in Embessa. I never really felt that in the New World. Let's see. Yeah, like these look fine to me. Obviously, it's not going to be like that high detail or anything. They look better, actually, from here than they do up here. Oh well, very, very minor nitpick.
New orders.
Look at these ships living life. Everyone's happy, right? Everyone's got what they need.
Always aspired to.
Living life. Everyone is. I added another pier out here. This one has coffee. I have multiple upgrades saved now, so we could actually add upgraded piers should we need to, which is nice. Multiple places. Okay, so the restaurants should be all busy now. Yeah, look at that. They're making their stuff.
And I'll tell you your drink.
So we're reducing canned food, beer, and rum for all the houses that are colored blue right now. Our huckleberries.
A quick stop.
People said, actually, I don't know if this is true, but they said that the restaurants actually change what they look like based on what they produce. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. That seems crazy to me. But that'd be amazing attention to detail. That you could almost forgive them for copy and pasting the building. Like, can I tell that they're making donuts here? Is that a thing? I know that when they're making something, there's people here and it looks more alive, but I didn't think that it was specific. Like, the flag isn't... Let's have a little walk. See, can we see anything that gives us a hint that it's Donut Foray in here? I can't walk in there. Because I don't think so. I think that'd be too much. She looks like she's having ice cream. Anything on the building itself? No, not really. So I guess temporarily I could just change the recipe and see. Do we have another recipe? We actually don't. What about here? We do have different recipes here. So a Montmartre 75 is what we're on.
We're in the presence of
and we can see the guy making his drinks. He looks like he's making beer. Something does change with the building. Don't know why I'm struggling to see what it is. I don't know. Don't know what's changing. I don't know though. I think it might be a bit of a stretch. I know the building when it's active. You can see like here it's not active right now because it doesn't have its goods. And until it gets its goods, it doesn't get filled up. And I can tell that like out here, there's obviously different people doing different things. But my point was that the building itself is the same. Which is why it's difficult to make them look nice. Obviously, yes, they are different colors. They have different flags. And then the people are doing different things. I do get that. I'm not taking that away from it. I'm just saying that it's if you have 3 of these in a row or something, it's similar with the hotels. You know, they look the same. So ultimately, it's just a little bit repetitive to the eye. People are saying you could also put a statue in the center here. That might look quite cool. Let's see what we could do. Let's just flick to this. Let's go city and let's go culture. Park statues or city statues. Now, I don't think anything's going to line up with our thing that much, but the only one that we can really fit is this one. And what we'd have to do is change this to an end, which is number 2. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but it probably looks a little bit better that way. There we go. Yeah, that does look kind of cool. Good suggestion, I think. That might be temporary, though. I don't know. I don't know if it fits my plan yet. Because I do hear when people say, like, oh, it does look very grid-like and just very weird. But it's tough. It's tough making these look good. Like, the buildings look great, but it's tough to make any one of them look good. I agree with what other people said, was that you should never have 2 next to each other. It's like, always have them all spaced out. It's like, man, that's difficult, though, you know? I mean, I'm all for beauty building, but at a certain point, it's like, that is a hell of a challenge to get a bus route to have everything they need to let them fully grow, you know? It's really difficult, especially if you're going to spread them out like that. But I do agree, generally speaking, that they look better when they're separated. It's just such a shame that we need about 10. If I only needed about 4 or 5, that'd be a lot easier.
For all you've done.
Anyways, I digress. So we've done all that. We're waiting for the thing to get built. I think we've got a quest, right? Yeah, prepare the Trifle Tower. Oh, people were saying, by the way, that she was looking for the 50 Shades of Gravy book, which I think you get from one of the quests. But I'm still happy with my option. It seemed to work, right? I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, seemed to work just fine. Reach the following productivity in your restaurant. 70% for Lobster Cheminée. What are you missing?
Staff are on hand, but stocks
Tallow.
are low.
Oh, for lobster shem. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Didn't we do that somewhere up here or something? No? I thought I did. Or maybe I just never switched it. Sorry, I totally forgot about that. So we've only got one on the island. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I thought we had two. Losing my mind. So lobster. Let's try that one then. Lobster cheminée. So that's going to need tobacco, lobster, and citrus. Now I'm trying to think, does lobster get delivered here? Lobster. I guess I'll have to check it. Don't think it does, but I think we've got lots. It does get brought to... Oh, look at that. We've got 1900 in at Lusk. So perfect. So yeah, so we'll just go back to our fine dining route. And we'll just add that. We'll just go lobster. Just pick that up as well now, please. I can't remember if it's a... Let's just go like this. There we go. How about that? Hopefully one route is good enough. Something else I'm going to do... If I can catch that ship, actually. Where is it now? It's okay, that's good. It's just about to hit down here. I'd like to give it a some buffs or something, some loading speed increases. I'm just going to send some ships out to Archibald and Eli and see if we can pick up some better items. And while we're waiting, let's do the next Trifle Tower thing. So Trifling Matter, culinary contradiction. One last momentous task remains to ensure the inaugural celebrations will be worthy of this historic event, preparing the banquet. What better way to crow such a feast than with the greatest, most glorious national pudding ever built? A challenge the tourist is unwavering in her desire to take up.
A roaring success for a simple enough course, don't you think?
Oh my god. She's like all spazzed out.
Plan our next culinary wonder.
So she's loving it.
Engineers. It's a rare kind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what she was going to talk to us about. But we just got the 70% demand thing.
New dawn.
So we actually had lobster
new
already,
day,
did we? I guess so.
new
Oh yeah, look at that.
dishes.
Wow, we've got so many. Perfect. So we're reducing chocolate, beer, and rum now. We're not delivering tobacco, I guess, to this island. So that would be another thing I'd have to do to keep that one up. Yeah, it comes into Lusk, as all things should. Not literally every good goes into Lusk, by the way. Just things I know are used. So it's not that crazy. But yeah, let's go fine dining. And let's just add that one on. So when recipes change, I'll probably, change what gets delivered in this, or just add multiple routes, like multiple going back and forth. I probably won't add multiple routes where I change things, but 50 is probably enough to get up there, deliver, come down, pick up something, get up there and deliver. Probably. I would have to imagine. It's 1 ton per minute, so it's like, yeah, can you do that in 50 minutes? I reckon yes. So yeah, probably fine. Anyway.
It's not just the food itself. It's the crowd, the culture, the flair and elegance of it all. Come to think of it, the cruise ship should still be around. You have to try those pastries. They turn up so many memories.
The tourist asks if you'd take her on a cruise. Absolutely. Down the Nile, just like Caesar.
Bronzed Adonis of a chef. Perhaps he will finally melt and tell us all his culinary secrets.
Sail up to the Pilgrim Mooring. I just realized
how his buttery pastries could enrich your cafes.
I don't know where my flagship is. Let's just have I hope I didn't sell it. I don't think I would have. There it is. Oh yeah, I was building items at Nate's. Let's just send this ship back. We'll go on the cruise with this one. I know it's going to take a little while to get there, but I'd like to roleplay a little bit. So yeah, we have to go pick her up there. Well, we can still do the trifling matter. So the Queen requested an impressive trifle for dessert, one worthy of the Iron Tower. Let us start with a bit of a backbone, so our great pudding will not slump and sag. Sponge cake should give it extra texture and body. Napa. Or fatty tallow should keep the whole thing clumped together. I like the idea of sponge cake. One of my favorite foods or desserts would be Victoria's sponge cake. It's awesome. The skeleton is now there, but we need a daring touch to take it over the cusp and put it firmly in the kingdom of deliciousness. Some audacious signature that will ensure the pudding is festive enough for such an event. Her Majesty probably likes a good bit of booze in her trifle. Rum, perhaps? If in doubt, add thinly sliced meat. with sponge cake. I can't imagine meat would go well with sponge cake, but rum sounds nice to me. But would Her Majesty like rum? Let's find out. There, the signature element is in now, and importantly, something that gives the wow factor. Coffee, as with tiramisu, is a weaponized flavor. Coffee, rum, and sponge. I think that sounds awesome, but sugar sounds good too. But I don't like the way he's like, sugar? I'm gonna go with coffee. It's a bit more exotic. Let's go with that. Of course, naturally, one last thing then. The Trifle must celebrate the Queen and her indomitable empire. Should we celebrate its reach or its resilience? What one ingredient of any good trifle is still conspicuously missing? Something that's resilient and elastic, like jelly or bananas. Oh, I think coffee, rum, banana, and sponge. It's making me hungry. Exotic and grand from a distant colony. I think that's cool. I don't know though. I don't know. Jelly, I'm pretty big fan of jelly. But I think with what we've got, bananas makes more sense. I'm really trying to picture it. I'm really taking it seriously. Sponge cake. Coffee. Sponge cake with a moist rum taste to it. And a kind of a coffee dusting. And I think with a banana, a sweetness of a banana, oh, I think that would go well. Wonderful, everything is assembled and into place. Into the ice cellar it goes, and now we wait for a time sometime later. There's a bell. There's the bell, ready to witness a culinary miracle, okay?
It's all wrong.
Oh,
The
no.
texture, the flavor, the fragrance.
What?
It's nothing like I had expected. Sorry I couldn't be more help. Oh, what'll Her Majesty say?
Oh, no. No. I failed, it seems. Damn. I'm no baker or chef. I'm so sorry. Our ship is still not here. The other thing I want to do is just pick up, like I said. I need to find someone. Hey, it's Drew Journal. Movement speed and trade prices. No. Don't need that. I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you, young lady. Alright, we got her. And then the next one, I'm looking for a propeller. Alright, look at me. Me and my items.
Awaiting course.
Alright, so we'll head out over this way. We'll try to find the fine dining ship, which is just coming up now. Couldn't have timed it better. Delivering its citrus, tallow, pigs, and sugar. As they say in Ireland. I'll just speed it up, let them make their delivery, let our airships get here, and we'll make the transfer then. And that's going to speed up the loading and unloading time, and also just the speed we travel back and forth. There they are. So you just chill here for a second. Throw it down to him. Oh, it'd be so cool. You see a little rope and pulley system or something. He just lowers it in a bucket. Big propeller. And just throw her down. She could parasail down. Kind of like in the Order 1886, if anyone's played that game. You could just imagine her rappelling down the edge of the airship. Such a cool level in that game. But anyway. Alright, cool. Job done. So basically, just for those unsure, that's giving us a loading speed of 45%. So that's pretty good. It reduces trade prices, but this ship isn't going to be doing that. And then this is giving us a movement speed of 10%, but a cargo slowdown of -25. So basically, it's like saying if you're full up, you're getting a 35% movement bonus-ish, kind of. I know it's not exact, but you know what I mean. And yeah, then we're speeding up that process at loading as well. So happy about that. What's next? I'm waiting on the Caesar ship to arrive to go take the tourists around on a trip. And our thing should almost be done. Yep, 3 minutes to go. We could run something like a World's Fair, maybe, see what's going on.
Engineers are the keystones. Stuff
Botany and horticulture?
Boggles the mind.
I think I've got
The least
everything.
we owe them is to get them down from the attic and into normal society.
I couldn't agree more. Let's go with sumptuous, but choose one of the lesser options when we get there.
Ours will be the biggest and the best.
Something I haven't planned for would be the likes of goulash coming to the city for these World's Fair events.
Comely look.
Oh, by the way, I just remembered. Some people have been talking to me about PCs and stuff, I don't know, probably not everyone knows, but if you've made it this far, hopefully, I'll mention it at the beginning of the next one. I am getting a new PC. It's got an RTX 3090 in it. It's got an AMD Ryzen 9 5950, I think. I'm going from memory here. It's kind of hard to remember. And it's got 32 gigs of RAM, but it's 4000 megahertz RAM, so it should be slightly faster than the RAM I have. Not that it really gonna make much of a difference in this game or anything like that, but it's definitely a big upgrade. It's got a very, very fast SSD. It's an M2 SSD. It's super, super fast. So it's going to be really good. And it'll be able to support 4K probably, but I'm going to be playing at 1440p and making videos at 1440p. So hopefully the resolution will increase. You should have a better viewing experience. The game's actually been relatively smooth. You know, I can't really complain about frame rate, really, considering how good the game looks and the complexity of it. It runs quite well for me. I know that obviously if people push it to its limits, it starts getting like really taxing. But for me, I'm quite happy with how it runs. I'm currently using a 1070 Ti. And before, earlier in the series, I was using a 980 Ti. And I'm using a CPU that's 5 years old. You know, I bought it 5 years ago. So it should be a hell of an upgrade. I'm really excited for it. It's supposed to get here on roughly around June 8th. And as of recording, I'm recording this the day it goes out, so it's June the 1st. So exciting stuff. And I just want to say thanks. If you don't know, like, there's no way I would have been able to buy a PC like that if it wasn't for the support on this series. And I am completely spent now. I mean, I basically... It depends which way you look at it. Either spent the entire earnings of this series and this channel, this Let's Play channel, really, over the course of its 2 years. Probably spent all of that just on the PC immediately. Or you could think of it as I spent a year worth of Twitch streaming income as well. It's really quite ridiculous. Luckily, I also have a main channel, and when you combine all three together, it hasn't been like that crazy, but it's a big upgrade that I don't plan on kind of coming back to. I'm not the type of person to open up my PC. I don't want to do any of that. I've done it before. I roughly know how. I just don't have the time. It's more cost effective for me to spend the extra money so that I can give myself the time to make content or something, you know, to keep my channels growing and earning. So yeah, so basically I've just bought a turnkey solution to a PC, and that's really one of the only ways you can get that kind of card now. Anyway, sorry, I'm just waiting on this ship to get here in case you're wondering what I'm waiting for. There it is. It's traveling quite slow. What else could we do then while we wait? Well, we could have a look at different recipes and things and what we need to do to unlock them. So, Stroganoff Goulash. If people in the old world have access to more corn, there's a chance they might find a way to liven up goulash. If they've access to more corn. People in the old world. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. How could I get people in the old world corn? I can't give them a production ship. I'm trying to think like what would trigger it. Do I have to deliver corn maybe? But we have corn, don't we? We have 100. Maybe I make one delivery or something? I've no idea. Off you go. We might as well try everything. That ship can head off. I'm sorry if it's painfully obvious, but yeah, I can't think of... People in the old world, if they had more corn, you'd get this unlocked. If they had more corn. No, I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Let's move on to the next one while we... The only thing I can think to do is deliver some corn here and hope that that's it. But yeah, bit weird. So, venison en croûte. Perhaps if you built another airship, you could fly in some recipes from the Arctic. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, sure, let's go for it. Let's do one. Tell you what, man, this place collapsed when I reorganized the trade routes so quickly. We need 40 gas and 25 steam motors. Okay. Let's find some gas. I think we just pick some up here. This place might even have steam motors, thinking about it. No. There's gotta be somewhere that has them. If not, then I do have to pause this, wait till we build up 25, and then go. I actually do have some in the old world. So, how much was it? It was 40, right? Alright, we'll just head down there, wait to pick that up, and then we'll go up and make a new... Does it need sails? I think I have that already, but I'll just check. It needs 50 sails, but we have them already, and the wood's here already as well. So it's just that. 25 steam motors and 40 gas. How's our little area up here? This is still... Everyone's okay? Everything seems fine? Good. Just check on my other islands, yeah? Everyone's okay? I can't believe it all works. Just the fact that I cut out so many ships and everything's fine. It's like, wow.
Done.
Done. Great. Alright. Tower me.
Skeletal? But perhaps in exactly that sense it has all the makings of a true wonder.
There we go. Look at... Oh my god, look at the amount of people out here now. That's so cool. They are loving it. It's so loud. I feel like I'm screaming over it. So let's see if we can get a nice good center it, and then we'll just look around it, yeah? No, it's not totally centered, really.
Oh, I think that you need to hear about it. But I heard terrible whisperings from crows around the tower. As we well know, heads of state have frequently of late been targets for assassination.
God damn. Well, we haven't... I think we have to take her on our cruise first.
Queen and other terrors in the same sentence. I fear some rebels are preparing a coup d'etat or some other dreadful thing for the inauguration.
A plot to assassinate the queen. It'd be so cool if you could mess it up so badly that she does get assassinated. And then maybe a new one gets put in place. Who I'm sure would look almost identical. Given budgets and stuff. God, how long does it take for my ship to get here? Oh my days. It's just coming in now. Oh no. My game is also frozen. I think it'll be okay though. I have every faith. The power of Ubisoft Minds. There we go. Got it. Look at that money. Dead consistent. Loving it.
Under no circumstances must the Queen's safety be compromised.
Sir Archibald demands that you hunt down any conspirators near the tower. I wonder what happens when we run around amongst them. Place is so packed. Sweet. Looks awesome, though. So, we can actually just go ahead and get the next phase going, right? So, let's go. 30 minutes. So, the ship is here now. It's coming in from the far end of the map, of course, and we have to go all the way there. But you know what? It'll be worth it. Look at this. We're going dead against the wind the whole time as well. What's our speed? Basically 5 knots, probably, at this rate. So, no cruise until the next episode, I think, guys. Right, so what else do we need to do for the, Yeah, so we ultimately just need to get to 4,000 now. And, right now we're at 420 per hotel. As long as they have everything they need, we can get to 420. But, of course, we don't have... We're lacking 30, basically, because we're just not quite close enough to the restaurants and things. So you'd need another bunch of restaurants down this way if you wanted to, essentially get this bus coverage here. So we could do that. I can at least add some extra ones. It'll help a little bit. Just choose the same recipe. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Is too far from bus routes.
Like I said, this area is it's all just going to be temporary until we do it time lapse. There we go. All same stuff. Twice the demand, though, I guess. But they should be so close to the place now. Oh, and also they need a... Oh, there's a warehouse right there. It doesn't really look that bad, really. It's just next to the river and everything. Kind of looks nice. People sit out, have their meal. Although we're barely going to be covering anything here. And if we're making the same dishes, these guys actually don't get covered twice. They only get covered once. So it would probably be better or more optimal if you just switched recipe. So we could try the Archduke Schnitzel for this one instead. Reduce the consumption of chocolate, considering we're touching on some investors. What else could we do? Rum, beer, and canned food. Maybe something else. So black muscat, rum, coffee, and reduce champagne, reduce chocolate, and reduce schnapps. What about this one? Deliver sugarcane directly. Oh, right. I don't think I actually do that in all of my little transporting stuff. I don't think I actually queued that one up, but that would be a nice one as well. Heavy reduction of rum and beer. Let's just select this one for now. See if they can keep up with it. And for the... Yeah, so I haven't done any of these. Progress through the tourist quest chain to unlock that, the eclair. Build one additional post office in the Arctic, and the fresh north wind might deliver. Add at least a ton of bananas to your investment warehouses. Okay, yeah, let's do that. We should be able to do that.
Hovering.
So we should be able to go down to this one, pick up the steam motors. What do we need? We need like 40 or something, wasn't it? No, 25. That's going to be a while. Damn, bit of a holding period between this one and the next episode then, I'm afraid. Oh, I'm on slow motion. Oh my god, I didn't even realize. Jeez, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I was thinking like things are just going so slow. Makes sense. What are we here for? We're here for the bananas, obviously. The one banana that we're going to take to Mbessa. 1 ton of bananas. So that should sort that out. We can head to here and build a post office.
I love the fire service. They help me a lot.
Is that done?
I'd expected strange things when they opened a post office in the frozen wastes.
It's gone now.
Venison. At least someone got creative from it.
Venison tartare. Venison tartare. As a dessert. A light lunch for cafe goers. To some, eating... Oh, it's... right, okay. Eating raw meat is repugnant. To others, it is the epitome of delicacy. After all, molecular gastronomers may argue that exposure to any form of heat can do nothing but damage the quintessential flavor of the ingredient. So we have grapes for days. We have citrus, but we don't have the caribou meat. That would have to be something we set up a specific route for.
On the wall?
It's very specific.
Well, sometimes a penniless artist...
So we could have a look really quickly. Arctic to the old world. Currently we have the airship's unfortunately going to be quite full, because from the Arctic we bring back gas, gold, zinc, and copper. Because we actually produce zinc and copper on the glaciers as a byproduct of one of the items that we have there. So we actually don't have room. We'd have to set up a separate route to go get it. Pretty much. A lot of hassle for that, but I'm happy enough to do it just for the fun of it. We have a free airship, so why not? And we're going to be making another one, so let's just say, yeah, sure. You know, a little bit of extra caribou, that's fine. The Red Baron, that's the one that's waiting. The other ones, I'll have to wait. God, just waiting all the time. I can make the route, though, I guess, just so I don't forget. So the Arctic, we want to go from
the cherry atop our beautiful
here.
Friendship cake.
Nope.
You mustn't.
Straight to swords? That's against the rule. It's against the rule. But I might just do it, because I think this is the only one that's going to act this way. As far as I remember. I'm just going to save that just for a second. Because there's also... venison en croûte. What do you need? You need caribou meat as well. What does glog require? Whale oil. So I could set up a route that brings back caribou meat and whale oil, right? That would ultimately be what you'd want. And it's never going to be needed in anything else, so I think it's a relatively safe bet that we say yes. Just deliver it to here. Now, we have our minimum requirements there, so that's all fine. But it looks like we're quite low. We've got whale oil for days, but not quite the caribou meat, so we'll have to check on why that is at some point. Yeah, I don't know. delicacies. I'll just add it to the Arctic to Old World route, and we'll just leave that empty. So here, then we'd have to basically say, okay, I think all the caribou meat comes from this place, if I'm not mistaken. There are 7 of these on the island, caribou hunting cabins. Need 25 workers to work them. I could add in another one, maybe that will give us the extra production that we need. Oh, they need to be heated as well, don't they?
From its voyage.
I'd have to look. Does this get heated? No. But you can double them up with the coal things, right? Yeah.
Shall we? You'll see the pastries are simply scrumptious, much like the cook himself.
Damn. I'm gonna say no. We'll do that right at the beginning of the next episode. So we'll just wait. So yeah, so they should have heat. They should have heat. What's the problem? What do you mean missing heat? Oh. Oh, I can just connect it there then. There you go. Alright, so they should have what they need. They can get extra stuff there. They're a bit low on... Yeah, we're a bit low on housing though. One more we could probably handle.
We depend on you.
I think pemmican is probably a bit low.
From its voyage.
Oh no, it's okay. In fact, it actually seems so okay that it actually seems like it's full. It is full. Right, well that little bit of extra caribou meat is going to get automatically brought around to here. And I'm hoping that means we'll start to store somewhat of an excess.
A momentous occasion.
Yeah, these guys are chomping through it though. That's the problem. There's so many of these working on it. Might take a bit of jiggery pokery to figure out exactly what's going on there. Let's drop off the banana.
So this is what comes when in-basin tradition meets
Hey!
curiosity.
A banana surprise.
My.
Let's have a look at the banana surprise. I always forget which building it's in. Embessin Sunrise. No, that's not it. So it must be here. Banana surprise. So bananas, goat milk from Mbesa, and cinnamon, which we have as well. And that's going to give a reduction to chocolate, coffee, and champagne. So a really great one for investors. We could just definitely plonk down a cafe near investors in future and give them the banana surprise, I think. We just have to be delivering back some goat's milk, I suppose. But that's kind of what our extra ships are for. We've got many extra little ships just waiting to be put on routes dedicated for those things. Alright, so I think that's going to be pretty much it for this episode. So basically what we're going to have to do now is build a police station. We're going to go on the tour. I know this is a bit of a long-winded one looking at different things, but everything's in place now for us to kind of blitz through the next part. Ultimately as well, I'm going to have to put down some extra hotels just to give us the population we need to bring us up to 4,000. So we need 1,100 more. In order to do that, based on the rates that we have things, 420 in each one, so we need 3. We need 3 more hotels. So I guess let's get started just popping them down somewhere now. Build them out a little area here. Actually, yeah, why not just do it down here where we said we would before. Yeah, again, bear with me. It's temporary. I'm just going to move this as well. But it gives us an idea of where they're probably roughly going to go in the future. Somewhere like that. Not quite like that, but somewhere like that. So that's 3 new ones, and they're going to need their own bus stop, of course. Love and life. And then they're going to need their own restaurants and everything, so that's going to be the last thing we do. I wonder actually how their restaurant need is fulfilled here. It's very close to all the different restaurants. Pretty good. It's basic. Yeah, that might actually be enough to get us to the population number we need, which is really all I care about at this point.
I assume the lack of food fare and fanfare is intentional.
We're then going to have to check on... Yeah, so that's the next thing now in the next episode. Going to be looking into lemonade, souvenirs, jewelry. I haven't set up any of those production chains yet. So we're going to be in the new world building out the raw ingredients before we stack out some extra chemical factories. Does this building get affected by anything? No, so that doesn't even need to be in this area. I might build it in this area, just a bespoke area for chemical factories. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. So, a lot of explaining of what's been going on, but now everything's established. We can just really start hammering onto the production chains of the scholars, tourists, finish off the hotels, and then I think after the next one, we should almost have everything done where we can just start actually laying out what we need. That's going to be the idea anyway. Alright, thank you guys very much for watching, for all the support. Really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video has been copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that'll give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.